Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of this channel called Patrick the Runner. My name is Patrick Sheridan and as always I'm here to talk to you all about running. So today it is Saturday the 5th of October and I have an interesting session here. So I have a 15-minute warm-up, which is my usual, then I'll go into my also usual stretches, drills and strides. Then I have 2 times 1 mile tempo, where the tempo is going to be at about 5:20 mile pace. The recovery is 60 seconds. Then I'll take a 4-minute break. Then I'm going into 10 by 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off at basically maximum effort. So I'll be doing approximately 400 meters in those 60 seconds, probably just a bit less than that. Then after that, I'm going to take another 4-minute break, and then I'm going to finish with the mile tempo again in about 5 minutes, 20 seconds, and then I will finish with a 2-mile cool down. So that is what I'm doing today. Now, in terms of what the purpose of this workout is, well, I haven't gone on the track here in about 6 weeks. My last time on the track was my last race of the last season, which was the 800 meter race in Manchester and Bury, and I took a 2-week break after that. I've then gone into 4 weeks of base training. This is the 4th week of the base training. Obviously the base training really continues until the indoor season starts for me, but in terms of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, I think it's good to not go too long without going on the track, because at the end of the day, this is what I'm training for, this is where I'm racing, so I want to make sure that I'm working at what I'm going to be doing in races, and I need to get used to running on the track, and a good way of doing that is to run on the track. So that's what today's about. The 2-mile tempo is really broken into 1 mile each, because I don't want to exert too much energy in that initial tempo, so that's why I've broken it into 60-second intervals, so 60-second breaks between the intervals. So that's the idea there. It's good to get threshold work all throughout the year, but particularly at this time of the year when you're trying to build that aerobic base. But I also don't want to be going too long without doing VO2 max type intervals, and that's why I think I've now done 4 weeks of completely either easy running or threshold training, but I want to keep improving that base, and a good way of doing that is to trying to increase the ceiling, basically increase your maximum fitness using VO2 type intervals. So that's the idea with the 10 by 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off. They're at maximum effort, which just means that my fitness is going to be progressing that bit more forward than if I had just done threshold sessions all week. So I did a threshold session on Tuesday, Thursday. That's why I want to get the extra bit of VO2 max work here today. And then the idea again with doing the tempo or threshold type effort at the end is just to get the lactate out of the legs and to get your body used to running at good paces whilst fatigued. So that's the idea there. Hope that all makes sense. Now, this could be pretty tough today because it's my first session like this in a while. I'm not too bothered about what I cover in the 60 seconds. As long as I'm working at a good effort, then that's going to be enough for me. But as I've said, I think it's important that you do build a base in the winter. But you know, someone asked me last week about preparing for this 5k and whether I do race specific intervals for 5ks in the base season, and I absolutely do. And I think it's important that you don't go too long. Yeah, you'll have an initial base like I did for 4 weeks there, but I think at least once every 2 weeks you should be trying to really progress your fitness forward with a harder session, because that does improve your fitness, but it also is good psychologically, because if you go into a race and you haven't been pushing yourself, you've only been used to operating at about 80 to 90% in training, then I think you're going to struggle on race day to execute a race wherein you're supposed to be pushing yourself to your body's maximum. So that's the idea there. Hope that makes sense. Wish me luck. I'm going to go into the 2-mile warm-up now, then you'll probably see some of my stretches, drills and strides, and then we will get started. But yeah, let's hope it doesn't absolutely kill me today, but it probably will get quite close. So see how I get on.
It was nice knowing you.
probably would have been trying a bit too hard to push 520, but at the same time I felt pretty good at 525. I just don't want to regret during the session going out too quick, because it's still very early in the season. I'm trying to get the fitness up, and there's no sense in doing threshold any harder than you need to, as I said last week. So 2 525s felt very good, felt very smooth. So let's see if I can go in to these 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off, and sort of be running what would be about 63, 64 second laps. So there's that white line there, and there's another white line just behind it. So this here white line's a mile start. If I can get in between those lines for each one, I'll be happy enough. Thereabouts would be pretty good. I'm doing 10 of them, so that's quite a lot of volume. The intensity's going to be there, so I just need to make sure that I start it in a controlled way. There's also quite a significant wind there in the back 200, so need to just make sure I gauge that right and don't go out too hard in the first 200. So yeah, let's get started. Looking forward to it, and as I said, it's going to be grim. Okay, so that was the 10 400s done. Probably averaged about 65 per 400, maybe 64, but it felt really tough, to be honest. Compare that to 8 weeks ago when I felt like I was cruising around 58s, 59s. That's just what happens when you take a 2-week break, which was as intended, part of the plan. Sometimes you need to go one step back to go 2 forward. So look, that's what the plan has been. The plan over the next few months is to keep up with the threshold, keep up with the base training, but to integrate more types of sessions like that there, so that I'm gradually and progressively getting fitter throughout the season, and hopefully in 16 weeks time or so, whenever the indoor season starts, I'll feel like I'm in better condition for middle distance races. So that's what it's all about. Anyway, I have a mile tempo to do now, so better get going. Okay, so that's me finished. The tempo there was about 5:30, I think, so I could have gone quicker, but it would have been very tough too, so I decided to slow it down a bit. I say decided, it's forced because I was so tired. But all in all, that's a really good session. It's, to be honest, a bit disheartening when 6 weeks ago you feel the fittest you've ever been in your life, and then this week you go to do something like that and you expect a bit more. I said I wanted to be between the two lines, probably averaged about there, about those blue lines. Don't really know. I'd say though I'm not too far away from averaging 64 second laps, which is pretty decent, and considering I had a 2 by a mile tempo beforehand, that's very good. And I also had a mile tempo after, so I got loads of volume in, is what I'm saying. That's what you need this time of the year. There's no medals won in October. It's 6, 7, 8, 9 months until I want to be at my peak, so that's a while away. And as I said, what I do in training, or how quick I do things in training, isn't as important as the fact that I am just getting it done. And what I'm saying is, performance in training doesn't mean a lot this time of the year. You just need to make sure that you're hitting the workouts, you're finishing them, you're giving it all when you need to give it your all, and you're controlling yourself when things need to be controlled. So that was the intention of the session. I'm pretty much satisfied because I got that done, and then on to the next one now. So stay tuned for my session next week. I'm going to be mixing it up again. I'll show you what that is next week, but basically all throughout the winter I want to make sure that I'm giving myself
a stimulus for improvement. And I think the best way to do that is to, yes, keep up your consistency, but also have plenty of variety in your workouts so that you're giving yourself an impetus to improve and to bounce back from a session, make the adaptation and come back stronger. So that's the intention of the channel. I hope the purpose of the session was clear to you all. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. Please stay tuned for more. There's going to be plenty of videos for my 5K coming up in about 8 weeks from today, and I'm hoping that that's going to help you all who are aiming for similar goals. And as always, you can join my journey, watch my video, see how I'm getting on, and as I've said before, please do subscribe if you're enjoying the channel. Please give the video a like if you've liked it. Leave any questions, you know I'll get back to you in the comments section below, or I'll try my very best to get back to you. But stay tuned next week. In the meantime, take care, have a great week, and thank you very much.